Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the vlog. I'm officially starting the next phase of the living room, the bookshelves. I've been wanting these bookshelves for so long. I've been talking about them for so long because I really think that they're gonna fill out that big blank wall in the living room. And when I thought about the room as a whole, I was like, I'm not gonna be satisfied with this room with just adding bookshelves. I really have to start from the beginning and give it a full makeover. That's why we started with like doing all the messy stuff that if I would have done the beams and painting after the bookshelves were installed, I would have had to protect them. I had to go in like a natural order of things. Obviously starting at the beginning, like all the foundational elements, beams, paint, and then we moved on to the fireplace. And now that I'm completed with the fireplace, I actually have one thing to do, but I'm letting things dry. I want to get like a dehazing or like some kind of mortar grout remover and kind of perfect the surface of the brick where it's kind of gotten onto. So when I run to the hardware store, I'm gonna get that as well. So first things first, on the bookshelves, I've got to figure out the size and how much wood I need. And also there's one other thing that I know is going to take some time is the couch situation. Now our couch is something that we brought over from our apartment and it's L-shaped. So it disrupts the flow of the room, but it's modular. So it's like 4 big pieces. So I could change it. I can take a piece off and then it just be a regular like long couch with 3 pieces and not disrupt the flow of the room, because I have been looking for couches and I found some that I like that are super pricey, like super expensive, and our couch is in such great shape, like structurally wise, that I'm like, I just want to see about recovering it in the perfect fabric and maybe updating the style a little bit. The fabric being so light is already so like damaged and not it, you know, and I think as Kate gets older, it's just gonna get like worse and worse. As it is, we already keep the seat cushions covered with blankets, just so like every day, like Kinsley and us, like for a while we didn't have a dining room, so we're eating at the couch, you know, it was like a whole thing. So I know the couch situation is going to take a minute, whatever we decide. So I found this upholstery place online and I would love to go and see what our options are, you know, like if they're able to do it, how much it would cost, how much fabric I would potentially need, if they can kind of make it look more like a slipcover couch, like that would be also amazing. They open at 10, which I feel like it's almost, oh yeah, it's 10 now. It's worth a shot to see what we can do with our existing couch and save the couch, save the structure, just recover it in a darker, deep blue, pretty color. So we're gonna go there first, then we're gonna come back and plan out our bookshelf. So I'm gonna bring you guys along, figuring out what I'm doing and getting started on that next phase of the project. Just getting a little bit ready now, and I've been mentioning to you guys that I've been taking extra good care of my skin lately. Like I went through this like skin change phase after being about 9 months postpartum or almost a year postpartum. My skin just felt like it changed. Like I wasn't quite sure. So I've been trying some new products that I've been using for a couple months now, really figure out like what was going to work and what I needed to like swap out of my routine. And a big thank you to Typology for sponsoring today's video, because I've incorporated so many of their products into my routine and I love them. I've been using to skin prep this 9-ingredient face moisturizer, love this. And then I love their tinted products. Like I just put on their tinted serum, which I love as like a base over my sunscreen. It's a light coverage. It just like melts into your skin. So it really gives you a beautiful kind of like finish that feels really natural. I also like their tinted concealer for under the eyes. I feel like this is so hydrating and it has enough coverage for every day. Like you can see the difference, and it just brightened my under eyes. And the concealer has caffeine and niacinamide, so it helps to immediately like reduce puffiness. All of Typology products are made in France and 80% of their ingredients are natural. So you can feel good about the products that you're putting on your skin and incorporating it into your routine. And I'm obsessed with their tinted lip oil. This is their color Black Cherry. I carry it around, I put it in my purse. I want it everywhere. It leaves a subtle tint. This color too, I absolutely love for the season. It has vitamin E and jojoba oil. It's not sticky at all. It feels like butter. And by clicking the link in my description box, you guys can get a hydrating cleansing milk with your order of $40 or more for a limited time only. So just for the next week when this goes live. So be sure to check it out and try some of their products. These 3 go to. Love this if you want to try out their moisturizer for something lightweight. Also love their bronzing drops. I've used all of these products today. So here's what I'm thinking. Because like this side of the room, when you look this way, looks great. It's like starting to come together. This side of the room doesn't look like anything. So here's what I'm thinking for the couch. I want to print out something. I want to take a picture of the couch that we've got. I want to measure it, the width, the depth, and the height, so that they can actually give me a quote, you know, on like what it is, and then print a picture on the same page like of like my inspiration. So I want it to be, you know, more slip covered. So I want them to see, I don't know, see if I can change the way that it looks on the bottom, be more, maybe they could even make a slip cover for this one. Like, I don't know, I need to see what my options are. I have never had something reupholstered by someone before. I've never done this before. I do have something that I need to get reupholstered that I just haven't done yet, and I have the fabric for, which are 2 chairs for the cottage. I just haven't found a reupholsterer yet. So this will be an adventure. It should be a fraction of the cost of buying a new couch. We've washed these cushions a couple times, and the cushions aren't really the problem. It's the actual body of the couch that we can't really clean. And I've bought steam cleaners, I've tried things, and it's just getting stained and like off-white fabric that's older. What I would love is an ottoman here instead of an actual back. I wonder if this piece could even be modified. I could ask, you know, like all you can do is ask. This one, this is also something that I did right when we moved in, because I knew that the L shape didn't work in this space. I didn't like it. So I moved this piece off and we just had it over, you know, by the windows, because it just flowed back. But I don't have it positioned right, it's back further. Oh, I found Kate's marker. This kid, more things go missing. His water marker. So when you come out of the room here, the walkway, you can walk straight. Kind of straight, a little bit to the corner, but like this is how it works best. I'll probably take a couple pictures. I'm gonna send these to my computer and print these out really quick so I can write the dimensions like on the page. Crop this in a little bit. The cushions aren't fluff, but it would look much better than that. Then I want to bring in my inspiration picture. Okay, let's go grab that. Print out. I'm really hoping that they can do this in a matter of a few weeks. I just don't know how busy they are. I know a couple of the reviews that I read said that they, like one person said a few years ago that they were really busy, that it did take about 5 weeks for them to do it. But then someone else said that it took like a week or a few days for them to recover something that they were working on. So I guess it all depends. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be so helpful. 126. I'm actually glad I measured that, because the other couches that I was even looking at online only measured 90 or 96 inches. I was having a hard time finding one that I really liked over 100 inches. And I knew this one was over 100 inches. I just wasn't sure how much over. 126. Like, we have quite a wide living room. I don't want a smaller couch than this. Okay, so I wrote everything out. I measured each module, and then also the full width, height, depth, all the things. Here's the depth here, and the pillows and the cushions. Maybe this will help them give me a kind of a rough idea of how much fabric I'm gonna need. Okay, let's take a trip. It's actually supposed to start raining today, and it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow, and I really wanted to get all of the wood tomorrow. Randomly, it's just gonna rain. It's bringing in a cool front, which is kind of nice. It's gonna feel more like fall. Okay, I just arrived. I see quite a few like pieces that they're working on, you know, like I can kind of see in their warehouse. So this could be really promising. I have a question for you. I need the couch recovered. We want it to kind of look more slip covered like this, just in a new fabric. Yeah, it's really soft. Yeah, that's really nice. Not bad to do a slip cover also, and the prices on this company is good. Oh my gosh, he was so nice. Going home to look at these swatches of, I was gonna get a fabric from somewhere else, but I walked in and he had like a bajillion fabric swatches of all the books of all the different kinds of all of them, different qualities, high-end, low-end, velvet, Chanel, canvas, textured, herringbone. Did not matter. He had it. He would be able to get exactly how much we would need. So he's just roughly, like, based on the top of his head, around 24 yards, because I want to slip cover. I'm just gonna have to cover the whole, you know, thing, and I want it to be that look. $1,400 in labor. Yeah, $1,400 in labor. Like the cotton one he said was around the $20, like depending, it was around like the $18 to $20 a yard price, you know, like coming in around like a little less than $500 for that. That's definitely higher than I thought it was going to cost. I thought I could do it for around maybe like $1,200 to $1,500. That was kind of like my goal, but still cheaper than buying a new couch and having this as waste. It's cheaper. Like it would be much more expensive to find like a slip-covered couch than in the right size. I made it back and I brought the rug back in here so I could see like all the elements together. So this is our vintage rug that's staying in here. It has a lot of green undertones, more like a golden green. I like the juxtaposition of the blue. It works. It likes in other samples that I've looked at, but basically we're going for like a deep denim blue. Like that's like my sweater is like navy blue. I want like more of a denim, so it's more grayed out a little bit, like a gray blue denim. This one is 100% cotton. It's brushed denim, so it has a soft luster to it in color Midnight. In the place, this had like a purpled undertone, so it was like throwing me, and I see it still. You see any purple in this? This is really soft. This is higher, this is a performance Chanel. So that's this one. Talk about soft. It's Chanel, so it has like a fluffiness to the surface. This one is more gray. These colors were harder for me. They were more like teal, you can see. Like they had a lot of like green undertones. So this one, see how it's bright? It's really bright. This one is deeper, kind of like my shirt. And then this, I think was also, I'm not sure about this one. This one is like the grayest of everything, like the most like grayed out. Actually, I think this is the one that looked most like my inspiration. Color is Eclipse. So can you imagine that eclipse, like the mid sky, like an eclipse sky? You know how it has like a lot of gray in it, but it's blue at the same time? I'm gonna step back from all of these. This one, the cotton one, I see a ton of purple in Midnight. I don't know why I see a ton of purple. I have like really pretty colors, like really pretty like beiges, and we're not doing light, obviously. See, that's a very vibrant blue. I don't want that vibrant, little electric kind of blue. A chocolate. This is a really pretty color. It looks purple to me. It looks purple. I like this one the most. I feel like the one that looks most like my inspiration. Okay, we've been staring at this fabric swatches together. This one definitely looks the most, it's like that gray blue. You know, like it's not gray. These colors over here are gray, right? So this is just a gray blue, like an ashier blue, over something that's very intense like this. I feel like if I go with more of an intense blue, it's gonna start doing weird things when paired with like the red purple in the brick, and then the more green in our rug, and then the tinge of green that's in our pink color. And so I feel like this looks really good with pretty much everything. So I'm gonna run these back over to him and tell him that this is like a winner. Take the next steps from there. Well, this was a success, you guys. Okay, I ran the samples back over to him. He's gonna let me know. Let's talk about bookshelves. I'm also going to film portions of this for my main channel video too. So I'm gonna tape off the bookshelves to really understand. Do I have a baby? Are you with your dad? Oh, I see the hand. We had the best day at the Harvest Festival. Hot in the morning, but like it cooled down and it was awesome. Just as a family, just like I could have stayed out there all day, like just hanging out with him. It was so nice. This wall is massive, and I really want to fill it out with something that's going to add functionality to the space and also a focal point. I made some afternoon cozy coffee. I had to. It was like dreary outside. It was like, it's probably gonna rain soon. I was like, I need it. I need a second cup. I need to get some fuel going. When I built the bookshelves at the cottage, I didn't tape those off. I just kind of measured it. It was all built in. They were kind of more floating shelves at first, and then I didn't like that look. So I actually made it look like bookshelves by adding some more wood pieces on the side. This is gonna be kind of completely different because it's gonna look and appear freestanding. I don't really want it to touch the side wall, but I want it to be really close. And then I need to determine how far this way I'm gonna go to make sense, you know, without like cramping the window, but far enough so that it doesn't hit in a weird spot. And then I don't want it to go all the way to the ceiling. One, because these beams kind of come into the wall, you know, so I don't really want to I don't want to cut into my crown molding or like whatever trim work I'm going to do at the top. I don't want to have to like cut these out. Also, I think if it sits away from the ceiling and away from the sidewall, it's going to feel more like furniture instead of like a built-in. Let's start with depth because I feel like that's a good place to start. So total, I have 32 inches. Most kitchen cabinets are 2 foot deep, 25 inches. You know, kind of, that's what it kind of ended up being. And then up top, they're usually pretty shallow, actually. I did our pantry and coffee bar deeper because I wanted to accommodate appliances. So that's 20 inches deep. So the bottom, 20, 24, 25 inches, that's normal. The tops are normally 14 because you think about like putting a plate, like a dinner plate, and that's usually 12. You know, so it comes out 12 and gives you a little bit of room. So they're normally 14. I did the bottom ones 20, and that accommodated coffee machines. You know, and that was plenty. Well, just enough actually, because our Nespresso's pretty deep. You know, so they had to accommodate that. With this, we're not accommodating any, you know, appliances or anything like that. So I'm thinking I don't want the top of the cabinets to recede a lot from the bottom. I don't want it to look like a baker's cabinet. No, what am I trying to say? I don't want it to like look like it should be in a kitchen. I want it to feel like a hutch. So I want them to be the same. Oh, he already got back to me about the fabric. It is in stock in the North Carolina store. Fabric that I picked is $36.50 a yard. That's more than $20. I just looked back at kind of like some inspiration pictures I had. I definitely don't want a different sizes on the top and bottom. So I just want the storage underneath to be like meaningful. You know, like I know we're gonna have a lot of it because it's gonna go all the way, but I want it to fit something. 18. I searched for like typical like cabinet hutch like dimensions. This one is like 18. This one's almost 16. You know, it's somewhere in there. For height of the cabinetry underneath, I think I kind of want it standard. I'm not gonna have a toe kick, but it is gonna be raised. So it's all gonna be, you're not gonna walk up to it and need a toe kick where your toes literally need to go underneath the cabinets like you do in the kitchen. But I do want it, you know, raised probably about the same, like 3 inches or so. And then the cabinets, 3 feet, 36 inches. So we do it. I think some of the hutches were even higher than that. 36, 37. This is kind of an important decision over here. Just don't know how close to the windows I want to go. I don't really want a lot of space there, but I don't want it to be touching. You know, so I want like a nice balance. I'm basically trying to pick a reference.
Wait,
like
it's so small.
Oh, it's not gonna be small.
No, you look small, but I'm like,
I
dang,
look
I'm
small.
matching bookshelves right there right now.
Huge.
Huge, yeah.
But look at all the cabinetry we're gonna have underneath, like for storage.
Oh, for sure.
Or we could line it up with like the archway, the edge of the archway over there. Each section could be 50 inches, and then it would go to 150. So this is how far I've gotten. 3 sections, 4 shelves each, a 6-inch, but I may be increasing that, a 6-inch topper, like the crown and like the decorative top will come down 6 inches. So it'll be kind of like more solid and decorative, and then the shelf. So each shelf is measuring 13.5 inches. That was like equally like dividing it. And then a thicker section here, I think even thicker than this, and then the doors underneath. So I'm gonna live with this for a little bit and kind of sketch it out and put the measurements on a piece of paper actually. This is like such an important step to visualize it though. I would put it up and step back and take a look at it and see how it felt in the room. I also lowered it from the ceiling to just 8 foot. I stepped back to see what I could see from like walking into the room, and it cut off the top. And I really want to be able to see the top of the bookshelf so that it looks more like a piece of furniture. You know, so I lowered it just 2 inches just so that I had that. This feels good. This is gonna stay up here while I kind of like design it. And then I can measure this now and be like, okay, I need this much wood, at least to start. Also, these are going to be fairly thick. This is like the middle point. So this is gonna be more like 3 inches wide in the center with like decorative pieces. 3 inches on the side there. So it's gonna continue to kind of like come into the space. This is a great like starting point. We made progress today. We figured out if we're gonna upholster our couch. We found the fabric, put the bookshelves on the wall. Like that's pretty major. I messaged the upholsterer back and asked about pickup and delivery if he has that as an option. And then we'll see what he says about that. But it's a good thing that the fabric is in stock. I know in my gut it's like the right decision. I just hope it looks good because it's like not something that I'm able to like see before I do it. I would feel more unsure about doing it if I didn't get to see that swatch at home and go with like, and actually go with something that's gonna look good. So, oh, that's really good. So I was talking to my mom last night about the bookshelves, and I was showing her all the work I did on putting up the tape and stuff, and we were getting so lost in translation. I was like this and that, and she was like, what? And I was like this and that, and then this is the shelves, and then this is how what. And it's so hard. It's so hard sometimes for me to like, even through tape or sketches or mood boards, it's so hard for me to portray like what's actually in my head, you know, because when I look at the tape, I can see the depth of the wood and the thickness of it and how the scale of like the crown or the topper is going to be with the shelves. And I've already changed a few things after like kind of like staring at it kind of all night. I've already tweaked some things and stuff. So sometimes it's hard for me to like explain those. So if you looked at my wall of tape and were like, what did you just do? What do you mean? What does all of this mean? What does this tape mean? Just stick with me through the project and let's see how it comes out, because this is like such an important part of like the whole thing of just visualizing the kind of the distance between the shelves or experiencing it in the room, or even just calculating wood. And then we're going to add the meat to it and the thickness and the trim work and tweak it so that it's, you know, it comes out perfect in the end. So if you got lost in translation like that, I'm so sorry, but it was a necessary kind of step. So I am editing up this video right now so that you guys can see it, and I'm actually getting the wood today. It rained all day yesterday, so I wasn't going to transport wood in the rain. So I'm going to get the wood today. I'm going to start building like some of the foundational pieces tomorrow, and then obviously like adding in trim work and all of the details is going to be like last before we stain. So fingers crossed for me that this all turns out. I'm sure we'll take multiple trips to the hardware store. You guys will be along for the ride, and I will see you guys again very soon for another vlog. Bye.